Today, using API Insights, we're going to take a look at the Plaid.com API. Let's dive in and see how good it is. So Plaid is one integration to give you access to all of the open banking APIs. As you can see, they've got a nice clean website that explains what they're offering really easily. The documentation is also pretty good. So let's see what happens when we upload their Open API specification to API Insights. As you can see, we just processed 198 endpoints with API Insights in seconds. So we're not getting a good score, are we? How are we calculating this though? If we click on the box, we can see that each API Insights report is scored from A to F, which equates to a percentage, A obviously being the best. Now, if we have a look at the Plaid API, we can see we're getting Fs across the board. We're getting an F for design, F for performance, and an F for security. Let's dive into some of the details to see why it's scoring so low. So let's start with the design. If we have a quick look at this, we can see that we're failing 4 of the possible 7 tests. We are versioning, we do have JSON support, and we're using multiple HTTP methods. What we aren't doing is consistent noun usage, pluralization, can't see any rate limiting going on there, and the responses aren't very robust. So overall, it is a bit of a subpar API. Yes, we've got a few things that are working well, but there's no consistency, and we're not documenting all of the responses that we might want to see. Next, let's have a look at performance. Again, not the best score here either. We're not using any CDN or caching. There's no HTTP2 support being detected, but we are compressing, and it is quite a fast API. With the response size, as usual, we've skipped it. You need something like Treblle installed on your API to really understand the response size. Security, the important one. We are authorizing all requests, which is great, and we are enabling secure URLs through HTTPS, but we aren't seeing those optional headers that we'd like to see on an API. Overall, it's not a bad score, but there's no consistency, and the API documentation, the Open API Spec itself, it doesn't have all of the responses and consistency that we'd like to see when working with an API. You can test your API Insights score by going to apiinsights.io, or you can search on the Mac Store for API Insights.